Welcome to Absolute Facts, where truth hits harder than fiction. Now, picture this. The very people sworn to protect us, turning into the ones we need protection from. From a smooth-talking officer who mastered the art of extortion to a former cop exposed by his own body camera, these are the shocking real cases that prove corruption wears a badge too. Brace yourself, because what you're about to see will shake your trust to the core. Number 9. Daniel Holtzclaw, the cop who became the criminal. Imagine trusting the badge, only to realize the monster wearing it was the one you needed protection from. Daniel Holtzclaw, once a respected Oklahoma City officer, lived a double life that exploded into one of the darkest scandals in U.S. law enforcement. For 6 months, he abused his authority to target women with criminal records, thinking no one would believe them. When the truth surfaced, it shattered his career and public trust alike. On his 29th birthday, the verdict came: guilty on 18 of 36 charges. His sentence, 263 years in prison, sent a clear message that no badge can shield corruption. Number 8. Bralio Gonzalez, the badge that betrayed its promise. He wore the badge of honor, but behind that uniform hid a predator. Miami-Dade officer Bralio Gonzalez used his position to prey on the very people he was meant to protect. For years, he hid behind authority while committing unthinkable crimes. In 2018, 2 survivors stood in court, their courage finally tearing away his mask. At 48, Gonzalez was sentenced to life in prison, no badge, no protection, just justice. His downfall became a brutal reminder that even those sworn to protect can become the monsters we fear most. Number 7. Couzens, the officer who turned trust into terror. She was just walking home, but that night in March changed everything. Sarah Everard's abduction and murder by London officer Couzens shook an entire nation. Using his police ID and COVID-19 powers, he tricked her into arrest, only to end her life moments later. Her body was found days later, sparking protests across the UK. In court, Couzens was sentenced to life in prison, a punishment that came too late for Sarah, but one that exposed how authority can become a weapon of betrayal. Number 6. David Carrick, the monster behind the badge. He said, "You're safe with me," but those words were a lie. David Carrick, a veteran of London's Metropolitan Police, became one of Britain's worst sexual offenders. For 2 decades, he used his badge to control, manipulate, and destroy. Despite multiple red flags, including past assault arrests, he stayed on the force. When the truth finally surfaced, Carrick's reign of fear ended. His case remains one of the most disturbing examples of power-turned-predatory proof that monsters don't always hide in the dark. Sometimes, they wear a badge. Number 5. Dennis Perkins, the deputy who became the darkness. For 17 years, Dennis Perkins swore to serve and protect, but behind that oath hid a monster. A single digital tip exposed his horrifying secret. Thousands of images and videos revealing crimes too disturbing to imagine. The same man trusted to guard his community was exploiting its most vulnerable. Arrested in 2019, Perkins faced nearly 80 felony charges. The court's judgment was final: 100 years in prison, no parole. His case stands as a chilling warning of evil hiding behind authority. He wasn't just a man in uniform, he was proof that sometimes the greatest threats wear badges. His betrayal shattered the trust of an entire community that once saw him as a hero. Number 4. Michael Valva, the father who turned love into cruelty. 8-year-old Thomas Valva should have been safe at home, but his father, NYPD officer Michael Valva, turned that home into a house of horror. Years of abuse led to tragedy in 2020, when Thomas died from exposure after being forced into a freezing garage. The trial revealed a pattern of starvation and cruelty hidden behind suburban walls. When the verdict came, silence filled the courtroom. Guilty, 25 years to life. A father and officer, remembered only for the betrayal of both roles. Neighbors later testified they had seen signs of pain, but no one imagined the truth was this dark. His badge became the mask that hid years of suffering in plain sight. Number 3. Michael Datro, the cop who burned everything down. Consumed by rage, New Jersey officer Michael Datro sought revenge the only way he knew: through destruction. After a dispute with his superior, he set fire to the officer's home while his family slept inside. Miraculously, no one was hurt, but the act exposed a terrifying obsession. Datro misused police systems to stalk and harass, even planting a tracker on his ex-partner's car. By 2017, he faced multiple charges including arson and harassment. The sentence, 20 years in prison. A symbol of how unchecked anger can turn power into madness. Colleagues once called him dedicated, but his downfall showed how quickly loyalty can twist into vengeance. The fire he started burned far beyond the walls of that home. Number 2. Wayne Jenkins, the cop who built a crime syndicate. Wayne Jenkins was meant to clean up Baltimore's streets instead. He ruled them. As leader of an elite gun task force, he turned law enforcement into organized crime. His team robbed dealers, planted evidence, and pocketed cash. Their downfall began when they accidentally robbed an FBI informant, triggering a federal investigation. In 2018, Jenkins and 6 others were convicted, marking one of the biggest police corruption scandals in U.S. history. His 25-year sentence became the ultimate proof that unchecked power breeds corruption. He wasn't fighting crime, he was controlling it. For years, the line between cop and criminal didn't just blur for Jenkins, it disappeared entirely. Number 1. Marco Burke, caught by his own body cam. He thought he was investigating a crime, not realizing he was the crime. During a sting operation, Tennessee officer Marco Burke was caught stealing cash and fake pills from a planted car. His own body camera captured every move, sealing his fate. The sting exposed months of suspicion about a missing weapon and corruption within his department. When confronted, Burke confessed, ending his career in disgrace. He entered that night as a cop and left it as the case itself. His downfall was poetic. The same tool meant to expose others revealed his own deception. In the end, justice caught him through the very eyes of his badge.